Awesome, awesome. Welcome back. So, I want to talk about a topic on hierarchy of relationships with dear future wife and Letoya Luckett. Dear future wife was on, not dear future wife. Letoya Luckett, who was one of Destiny Child, one of the original Destiny Child, was also a solo artist in her own right with some hits under her belt. I think she divorced not too long ago. And I remember that she might have had even a reality TV show at one point. She had a reality TV show at one point, and I remember, I think I might have done a few interactions here and there back on lolaandlola.com. I'm not sure. I don't remember now, some years back. But it was quite obvious that to me, not necessarily to the rest of the world, it was quite obvious that what she had going on with with the husband at the time is not necessarily something solid. Again, this is not a situation of it's the wrong husband. It's just a lot of people get into marriage, they don't know what they're doing, they lack game. Okay, so but it's quite interesting to hear some of our take on dear future wife. Shout out to Lataras. And I thought I had some insights to it that I wanted to bring to speed here, so you guys can, so the Prestige family can get my own take on it. Then I would love to hear your own take on it as well. Okay, so I'm gonna play a video, a little bit of clip here within the fair use guidelines from dear future wife, dear future wifey rather. Dear future wife is the name of the platform, and then we'll take it from there. All right, let me go ahead and play this right now. Let's go.
It was an interview that I went on YouTube and went to go find how long ago was this interview. And it was months ago where you did this interview where you said that you believe the hierarchy of relationships should literally be like the spouses and then the children. Why in the world? No, I am gonna ask you why. Because I said I'm gonna talk about it. Because this is me right here.
Oh my
There was
goodness.
nothing wrong with what you said. Matter of fact, that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be spouse, then children. First of all, it's supposed to be God spouse, children, and then everybody else.
I'd even give you another one, Letarius.
What's
it's
that?
God, you, spouse,
Ooh.
children. Right? Because you can't skip your responsibility to be a healed enough
Slide that
person.
microphone close to your mouth.
All right, so I want to know in the chat if you disagree with that. Let me know why you did in the chat and the comments. Let me know if you actually disagree with that. Okay. Again, God, spouse, children. God means spouse, children. But wife and I actually have. Oh, by the way, I forgot to. Look at me. So because I'm on the road, I'm a little bit off my base. Okay, you can download our books for free. Hold on one second here. You can download this book for free. Okay, this is my wife and I's testimony. You can download it for free at loveandprestige.com, and you can also get on the waiting list for this one. Is coming out in December 30. Okay, but pardon me, I forgot that. I'm not home, so my regular routine is off. Right. So inside of our original book, which was released 2018 August. This 5 years old baby right here. You might want to check out chapter 8. Chapter 8, the 3 core pillars. The 3 core pillars that my wife and I share is God, purpose, self. So even children is not even involved in that. Okay, because again, they become a beneficiary of. If you follow that lane properly, God, purpose, self. God, purpose, self. Even self will fall apart if you're not engaged with your purpose, right? So that's the only context I will add to what they're saying, because I agree with them 100%. So God, they said God, God, you, spouse, children, right? So, but it depends on the context. What context are we talking about? We're right and wrong type of mindset, right? Usually, this is a case of you're trying to compare one thing to the other. Okay? That's usually what we're talking about. You're trying to compare one to the other. So, do you pick your children, you pick your spouse? Always pick your spouse. Okay? But when we put God into that and we start making it multiple different things, it becomes another conversation, right? So, but if we were talking about that, then it's really God, purpose, self. Because if you put yourself before purpose, it's going to fall apart too. It'll only matter of time, because you're a human being like the rest of us, right? And you have issues, you have trauma, you have emotional trauma, whatever background and stuff, all this kind of stuff, right? That's why I always tell people, whatever we do, even when we're talking about apologies, whatever you decide to do, however way, you need to understand the purpose, right? So even you as an individual, if you don't understand, if you don't have a good sense of purpose of why you're here in life, whatever that is, right, you're probably going to have trouble taking care of yourself. You're going to always reflect back to other people. You're going to seek validation in a very unhealthy way from other people, right? But when you know that you're here for a purpose, and you've identified that purpose, which is work that needs to be done, right? Then it becomes easier for you to pour. You'll be pouring into other people, like for example, your spouse, and then your children. But again, there's multiple conversations going on at the same time. I think they did address all of it, because I haven't finished watching it. But I wanted to point this out in the way that we follow in our own curriculum is God, purpose, self. Okay? When it comes to marriage, if you're trying to have marriage, that you have a solid marriage, it's God, purpose, self. The spouse, the children, they're beneficiaries of that. Okay, basically they're beneficial. You're able to pour from unconditional love because you have God, purpose because you understand, you have self-esteem, right? Your self-esteem is built on purpose, right? It's basically how you become valuable to other human beings. And if you haven't taken the time to really process that and understand that, no matter how much you tell yourself self, it won't work. You might even start coming from a very selfish place, So I wanted to point that out really quickly. I think there might be another small part of the clip that I'm still watching. Go watch Letoya's at Dear Future Wifey, and then you can see what I'm talking about. I think it was a really good conversation, because the lady that was talking is she's I don't know if she's a therapist or something like that. Yeah, I think she is. She's a Letoya's therapist, and she gave some really, really good insight. So GPS, God, purpose, self. GPS, God, purpose, self. I think there's one more place I wanted to play. 12:40. Let me see. Okay, let me play that really quickly here. There you go. Let's see.
Yeah. What is your take on?
This woman is an anomaly.
You see. There you go.
Why is it, because I have an answer for it and I want to hear what you got to say. Why were predominantly women triggered by her saying that the spouse comes before the kids?
Because I think
All right.
historically.
So again, go watch it. I want to know in the comments in the chat, why is it that a lot of women push against the idea that you put now in this one conversation, your spouse versus children? Why are they struggling with understanding the concept of hierarchy? That hierarchy means structure. Why are they why is it that, I think they have an answer somewhere here, an idea, but I want to hear I want to see your own words. Maybe you have some additional context to it. Why? Because I think Letoya has an answer here that I think is well aligned. Let me play it.
Here that have been abused, right? So I'm not speaking about staying in an abusive relationship.
We're not here on Man of Prestige, okay? I'm going to end this segment with that, because I really want to know your thoughts, right? We're not talking about extreme abusive situation. If you have that case, you need clinical help. You talk to a therapist, okay? We're talking about regular good old people that still end up in court, in divorce court, in child support court, custody battles and stuff like that. Good people, because of lack of game, okay? Lack of skills. That's the reason, okay? Because they continue to use common sense, and they end up falling on their face. That's the issue, okay? That's what's going on for the most part. There is minority of people going through terrible situation. One person in an abusive situation is one too many. We're very clear about that. That's a different conversation, though. That's a different conversation. We're talking about you're a normal person, but you're finding that you're starting to question about is your partner sick? Are they a narcissist and all this kind of stuff? There's a good chance it has nothing to do with that, but it doesn't change the fact that the results you're creating is poto. So I understand, okay, but we're not talking about Abby. We're talking about just normal people. Quick question: why is it that women, a lot of women, struggle with that? By the way, let me be clear before I move on to the next story. A lot of men struggle with that today too, but we're in a situation where men are confused with their masculinity. They're also saying, "Let me pick my mother over my wife." Why do you think that's going on today? All right, I'm going to leave that to you so we can move on to the next segment, as we only have 1 hour to do this mobile versions of this live broadcast. I'll be right back.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.